was born and raised in Wagoma village. I last born in a family of 7, 1 brother and 6 sisters. I have a passion for this village because I purely grew up here, and I've seen a lot of changes since my childhood. Many of my family members have died. Many are still dying. And in the last 10 years, there have been so many young widows and orphans. When every time you come here, people come to ask for sugar, food, assistance, school fees, and so many girls dropping out of school, so many boys dropping out of school and turning into fishing because the village is at the lake shore. As a result, there is a high prevalence of HIV and AIDS. And walking across the village, you find homes with 10 orphans, 1 widow, 12 orphans, 1 old grandmother, and it's the genesis of the whole village. As a result of the scourge and the desperate situation, I found myself being an advocate of an advocate center for the whole village. People found it easy to keep on talking to me, asking me for help, asking to talk to me. And in my own capacity, I've not been able to meet all of them. My turning point to start the Wagoma Child Advocacy Center came when a widow was not able to support her children and gave one of them to a relative away in the island, a place in Uganda where there is no school. I think the person who was given this child was tired, and this child came back burnt with cooking oil on the chest. And it happened that the father of this child is my half-brother. He was blind at the time, and he kept on saying that I should do something to let other children not be in that same position. I took that challenge. I felt as a person that I could do more. And I started the journey to starting the Wagoma Child Advocacy and Widows Program. It has not been easy. That was about 2 years ago. I started asking the villagers to donate land. Nobody was willing to donate his land. They were all doubtful. Then I started a small group with widows of 10 to start to go back to the farm, because even fish is perished. The village is perished. The fish is gone in the lake. And the village is going down slowly by slowly. And the reports that I have is that there are about 266 orphans in the whole village. I'm doing my own head count as it is and census, and about 50 widows that I'm also doing a head count on. But having seen what I've seen, I think there could be more. So the center is supposed to be purely a model that can change the mindset of the widows and help the orphans and bring them a new thing, something to build it in the future. The center is purely to agricultural center. The widows are supposed to have a food for work program and a center where the orphans can play. Those who have guardians will stay in their homesteads and we support their homesteads. And those who don't have guardians are the only ones who are able to stay at the center, more particularly the HIV positive ones. It's a long journey. In my own capacity, together from my own business resources, I acquired the land. There was no one who agreed to donate his own land. I acquired the land. It took about 2 years to acquire the land. The land is 3.5 acres, running from the hill to the lake. And my dream for the center, it should be a center where the orphans can come and play, a center where they can come and feed, and the widows to have a structure where they can have a farming system, a greenhouse, vegetables, cabbages, tomatoes, that they can be able to sell and raise money so that they don't just become desperate and there is no income. A place where they can be trained, awareness on HIV and AIDS, awareness on loss and grief, awareness on cancer, awareness on growth and initiatives and development. A place where people can sit and rebuild and rejuvenate this community. And more so a place where the children can find meaning again, the orphans, education system for them, a center where you can have adult education system, because the next school, there is no adult education system here. Most of the widows are school dropouts, class 8, form 4. In that respect, we are asking for support, we are asking for funding, we are asking for any sort of help that can make this center come through and be able to rebuild and rejuvenate this village and support the widows and orphans left in this perishing lakeshore village. Wagoma is perishing as a result of being a lakeshore village. The men go fishing and the women have to hang about and wait for the fish for them to eat and sell. So there's high prevalence of HIV and AIDS. They call it jaboya, fish for sex. And the one man can have like 10 women. So the whole village has perished as a result. The widows' numbers are more than the men. There are maybe 80% widows and 20% men. So these widows are young, between the ages of 20 to 35. So they keep on cohabiting, one man cohabiting with 10 women. As a result, HIV prevalence is ongoing. People are infected and reinfected every time. So there needs to be a bit of sensitization. One way is through economic empowerment. The only wealth the village has is land, which is lying untilled, because the land is unfenced. Hippos come from the lake and destroy crops. Animals graze across the land, and a local widow cannot be able to afford even a fencing facility of 20,000. As a result of the HIV scourge, most of the widows are infected. A few do not even know their status. They are not on ARVs. Their children are infected and they are not taken care of, because sometimes they don't even know. They keep on saying it as something else, chira, that is what they call it. And they don't even have the energy. They don't have, if lucky, they have 1 meal a day, and they don't have the energy to go till the land. So this is what the center is supposed to stop the gap. They find a place where they can work even for 1 hour and have food for work. And those who don't have houses, most of them are sick. Their husbands died, left them in grass thatched, which are now broken down, almost falling down. I have been able to construct a few houses, but I'm not able on my own to meet the need of all of them. So the only other way that they can be helped is through a program that can be able to meet their needs and give them sustainability. And one way is farming and helping the orphans that are within the setup. My appeal, start up this center where we are able to support the orphans to go back to school. The school dropouts, which are many and are in the lake, that can have an adult education center and still be able to learn. To have a center where we can be able to show and be a model for agriculture. To have a place where the widows can come and share on loss and grief. And to have even simple structures for the widows so that they don't have houses where they are being rained on. And a system with that, and an orphan to have a meal a day, because a child who's on an empty stomach cannot be able to learn. My appeal from this moment is we need donations for dry food. And our medium term is to be able to till the land, have some greenhouses, be able to create new agricultural methods, and create a hall where the orphans can play, they can eat, a center where there can be even a nursery school, so that the small children are not able to walk like 10 kilometers away to the next school, can be able to play and have education. Within the center, long term, an hospital set up a VCT center, a center where there can be maternity, where the people do not, the ladies, the women do not give birth in the bushes. A center where you can find even a place where you can buy milk. They have to go 10 kilometers away for them to even find a packet of milk, a pencil. A place where the village can find meaning. Even a posho mill, they don't have to go 5 kilometers away to a posho mill. So we will need structures, we need construction, we need support at all levels, we need seedlings, we need fencing, we need to do poultry, we need to do rabbit farming, to create new meaning, to bring modern methods of farming. As a result, to renew, to rejuvenate this village.
Minyalona